Sometimes you must say the first thing I thought of 2 seconds into the video, I want a dual processor. I got to paint, and now I need 4 arms because I want to paint, and I had an idea, so I need to split my mind, one that can paint over here on this side and put an eye to my side like a fish. Now I think of Mary, because Mary wants me to put my screen bigger so she can see it better on her television. Oh my God, Mary, everybody knows. All 22 hits of most of my video, 22 people know. If they live around the world, really and truthfully, most of them will be 1,000 miles away. But in reality, 60% of my views come from the US. So there's a chance that 60% of anybody that just heard your name that knows you have a TV set. And now they want your cable. Always thinking, how can anybody take my cable? They can divide and split and raise the energy in your cable. They can hack your cable and you're getting the bill. So why can't we hack these skulls? Is there a God in the world, a creator that made us? How do we connect? Why do we hear? Why does the vibration break down? Why is this Morse code? Because Morris is the cat. Who's the fish? Who's the tuna? Charlie? Charlie's the tuna? The name out there is Charlie, tuna, two North Americas, New Angels, anything with to do with NA or any. NA with any. So I'm coming here and I'm thinking, oh my God, number one, ONE equals 34, Neo, the end of Ronnie, R with 1, right? I mean, because the highest and lowest letter is R. 8 and 1, 9. You can't get any higher than that. I'd connect the two sides of my mind, B8 with I9. I'm an angel in connection heaven. There's a receptor. We're receiving. So if we receive, can't it be interfered with? But you would say, how would you have a perfect life? Well, you wouldn't have a perfect life. Why? Not because there's something wrong because of who you are, because of what they've done with your mental capacity to operate, to be who you were to be, who you were made to be. We all must know that when we build, when we design on the paper and we see it and deem it as perfect. We create concepts and ISOs and machineries and pieces and parts that will adapt for the best efficiency to what we understood on paper and science. Otherwise than that, you're all going to fall down like Humpty Dumpty fell on his crown. Round's crown. See our crown royal. Crown royal, loyal crown. K or C because the creation has been divided by the star. K is a star. If you put a K this way and a K this way, there's going to be a passage in between the two. But if you put a K this way and a K this way, there's going to be a passage in between 46 Zion, Israel. Right? Here comes into light and we divide it that way. Oh, L, she's good. Well, L, she's good also. If you get the light from one side, you're getting the light from the other side. The star is this way. But what if I have my star this way? Wouldn't that be Zion, Israel? Now, wouldn't that be, where is it over here? Wouldn't that be the light? Where are we getting our light? Are we bringing our light from top down? The scales, the temperature, at 32 degrees we freeze. The question is, if these two were pulled up all the way to over here, where one fish is facing this way and the other fish is facing this way. Now we're bringing in the light from here, we're bringing in the light from here, and now it's penetrating to here. This is an outline of a concept. The concept has to be, how do we get that light, okay, that energy from wherever it's going into our bodies so our bodies can become the Morse code of Charlie the tuna, the divided energies, the divided spirit. One thing we can greatly divide is a word spoken. If there were 1,000 in the room, everybody hears one word. I don't need to scream. I can talk slow. I'm saying to what the crowd is listening to with their ears are open. then they hear one voice. I don't need to go faster. Therefore, if the crowd wants to come and ask me a question, everybody must wait in line. The outgoing energy, the outgoing blood pressure, and the incoming blood pressure can only be based on the vast openness of the brood. The wolf will howl, he will huff, he will puff, and then he'll run out of air because his capacity of his broadband is not large enough. It's not a continuous flow of energy where it's at the dams and they're turning the turbine because it's a constant flow so they don't stop. You see, the hour clock doesn't stop. You can only see 24 hours, but it stops at 23 because 24 is in the center. You can only see 11 hours. Now let me remember what I was thinking. How many of these should we have? Is this the V or is this the A? Which part of it? Is it the V or the A, the one with the gate? And the delta angle? Because the delta going inside the V creates the gate, creates the A letter. It was an A, it was a V, until you put the gateway in and closed her up, creating a D and a C. Before, she was actually the E of light. She was the E of light because she was the E of light. The energy comes through here and goes out here. So what do you have? You have the fish's mouth on the outside, or the eagle eye from the two sides. So if we have the V, because we need the V before any reality happens in the blueprints, we need the V before the E can happen, but we're building the V so the E can happen and the flow of energy can come right through the tube. So we have the A on one side and the V on the other side. The delta angle is the D put in here as the gateway. The V has no gateway. The V this way is now a C. This way it's a V. This way with a gateway it's an A. AC, DC. We have the different levels or the air brakes like on the trucks. You press on the brakes. There's a pin that comes right out here and a pin that comes right out here. Why? Because the passage of the dividing light, the pins, depending on how your skull is, your fractal time is, fractal, I fractured my head, will be depending on how the air brakes go, but they'll always go to both sides of the wheels, both to the back wheels. It's divided in this tank, and there's a main stream in the tank that shoots every energy of air into each individual brake at the same speed. It's not one here, and one here that gets the air second. Okay? So this becomes your brake. This becomes your 4 and 6. Look at this. I. Now, if I want to show the flow, I will show army stripes. You see the E over here? On this side? This is the E, which will show a left side and a right side, above and below. When a fish is swimming, the round of the fish, which is the darn of the salmon, arn, D-A-R-N, A-R. Or how about DNA? And how about A and R? The one spirit of the 8th birth. The biggest number, 1 and 8. I'm 4 from that side, I'm 4 from this side. And I'm 4 from you. Because you added on to me. These are the caps or the chalice to the jacks and the kings. If you go 1 H, that's 8. If you go 2 H's, well, this over here is center field. C&E. Entertainment Center. 1 8, 2, excuse me, this is 1 I, this is 2 I's, this is 3 I's over here. 9, 9, 9 is 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, creation, 69, rotation, 69 and 14 to a 10-10 world. 69 and 17. 69 and 17 break the gateway open. The reason for that is 69 and 14 and 17 and 1. Because You see, this is the light. We have 69 together, right? 4 and 6, 1 and 9, but 1 goes to the 6 and becomes the light. Then it becomes the artificial intelligence. 4 goes over to 6 to connect the 4 corners. A, C, C, A. 44, 44, connecting space. 10, 10, the passage between 1 and 9, 10, and 4 and 6, the rotating light of east and west, 10. Unless you're running like this way, it's southeast, southwest. This is the gateway. 9 and 7 is 16, 1 and 6 is 7, 1 and 6 is 7, 6 and 7 is 13, 9 and 4 is 13. There is no 8 and 5 because here's where 8 and 5 lives, right here. But there's more than one place for 8 and 5 because between 8 and 9 is 8.5 over here. So it's the lower world to the right. There's 4 areas, one here, one here, one here, and one here. This is the top, this is the bottom. This comes in and divides between 2 sides. This side works with this side over here. He works with that side over here. This one works with that side over here. And that's why the jacks, if you put a jack card over here, you'll show one eye. One eye on this side, one eye on this side. So now you have the D-angle tail, the delta tail, in which we become 64. X and X. Isn't that incredible? And the D is the top part of the R. The R, you see this D over here with a V? D with a one-sided V. See the one-sided when you take this, okay, over here, and the V, and you one-side it, okay, like that. Then it becomes a one-sided, let's say A if you want. Or it becomes the stand for the R. D and 7, 70. If you put 2 D's together, it looks like an O. But then again, if you really look at it, it says 70 on it. 7, O. But it also says DD, 7D. And there's a cross connection now between east-west. So it's 7D and 7T. This is your valves and your bones over here. You want to look at it this way? If you look at it this way, a T is between 2 sides of one column. There's a left and the right column. Let's call it like this. This is one area. This is 2 areas. So by the time you make H and I, 17, 17 equals to 34. And by the time you make your next H and I, okay, H and I 17, H and I 17, H and I 17, 17, 17, 17, 51. In between that is your plus sign. But once you do this from this side here to this side here, let's do it one more time to make sure I did that right. We cannot count this as an H. So I made a little mistake. Okay, but if I did go higher, they would all go 17, 17, 17, area 51. So from the first part, you cannot make the H because it's the front part. So this is the lingered tail. This is your T transmission. This is your part of your connection. Don't forget, there's 2 parts of connections. One that fits right over here, okay, at the nose, and one over here at the nose, and these turn. I don't know what they do in the nose, but these turn. You can see the little eyes. It's an eye because there's a dot up here. It's turning. The T is because there's an opening on this end, and this is coming in. 20 plus 8 and 9, 17, plus 8 and 9, 17. 17 equals 34, or number 1 DC. And number 20 equals 50 for the sun. Add 6 man, you get the clock equals 60. Plus 6 for the divided worlds equals 66, which equals 36 creation plus 12. The lamb equals to 48 space. 48 gives you 32, the doorway, BC, and it gives you again 12, right? 36 and 12. 6 times 6. 6 times 6 is 36, and 12 is 48. The 48 Super Bowl. It counts for space 44. We had 12 over here, 6 and 6 is 12. Now when we have it over here, 36 and 12 is 48. Okay, 4 by 8 is 32. 4 plus 8, we get 12 again. From 4, from 6, from 8, we all got number 12. Abba of creation, 4, 8, and 6. 32 in this equals to 44. DC is 43 equals to 77. We got Christ. So we have 3, 5, 3. Electric company. We had 7D. The other one I was going to mention, the last thing was 01A equals 61. B equals 25. C equals 35. D, okay, because D comes with E in a row. It's D the sound into E, okay? So this becomes not only 45, but it also becomes 64 because it comes into D. The sound comes with the letter. How many sounds come with the letter? After D, you have F. F has E into F. Okay, so it's not only 56, it's also 60. It's also 56, 65. If that's what I understand. Let me see. E goes into F, so you're going to put 5, 6 on EF instead of putting 6, 6. Okay, because it comes into F. And E and F equals to 11, and it equals to 0, 1, 10. Automatically gives you 16 plus 11, 27. So that F will equal to 27 after, which is win big. That's what it comes into. Win big. And at the same time you said win. Win is you won. Yes, I did win. Won. And one win big. 7 by 2 is 14, which is 69. You won over 69. 6 plus 9 is 15, so you won over the egg, equaling to 27 red. R-E-D is 27. 14 and 9 is 23. 14 is N, and 9 is I, N-I. 23 is W, says win. Big is B2, 7G. It's also the T letter, to win big. After that, we have the C, which the C, okay, we talked about the CE letter, which makes it 35. CE is 35, but C is in the family of a vowel. U is the 21st letter. 2 and 1 is 3. C gets to play the 5 of the roll. And how does that 5 work out? It works out like this when you see the 3 card and the 5 dice. The 3 dice and the 5 dice prove that point because you have the 3 going through here and the 5 coming together. You have the 1 dot in the center of 2 dots, 2 and 1. Then you have 5 total with that 3 center, like I spoke, which means 5 and 2 come together because 5 and 2 come together in B. So now that C holds a vowel inside of it, this letter C will now get a 6 added to it. Not only will it be 53, okay, but it'll also get 653. Now I'll have to talk about after, okay, but I'm going to explain one thing. The telephone, again, back to your telephone that I just noticed, here again is number 53. C shows up with 53, 35, 53, or 35, regardless, it doesn't matter because in racing, you play the quinilla. When you play the quinilla or the exacta reverse, it's $1 because all the payouts are $2. So now you can bring this down to one denominator because the gambler's betting action is the reality of how I handle this, whether it's 35, okay? We want to have a whole. We want to have a whole. We don't want to break it up. But if it's $2, it's $1 and it's $1. It's 10, 10, and 10, 10. So if we break it up to $1, we make it whole in one world. So we can use 5 and 3, which makes 15. 5 and 3 and 7 and 2 are almost the same. 5 and 3. 5 times 3 is 15. 5 plus 3 is 8. 7 times 2 is 14. 7 plus 2 is 9. 9 and 8 is H and I. 2 and 1 equals 3. 3.1415. The first part of pi, 1 times 4, 1 plus 4 is 9. 1 times 5, 1 plus 5 is 11. 1 and 1 is 2. 3.14. 1 times 4, 1 plus 4 is 9. 1 times 5, 1 plus 5 is 9. 9. 1 times 5, 1 plus 5 equals 5 and 6, 11. 1 and 1 is 2. 9, 2. 6, 5. You want to see it again? Here's what we're going to do. 1 times 4. 1 plus 4 equals 9. We have to understand that 17 is the gateway. It is the gateway for Abba and the Lamb. 121:12. U, A, B, Abu. This becomes number 3, automatically number 3. 17 and 3 make 10, 10. This 10, okay, over here, because this becomes 10, 0, which becomes the light, but this is the gateway at the light. 2 to make 10, 1 to make 10 equals 2 and 1. The 2 and 1 go together to create this one over here. It's a group, okay? It goes together. So this becomes 1 times 4, 1 plus 4 equals 9, okay? I'm using this 3 from over here. And then 1 times 5, 1 plus 5 equals this. This is New World Order right here, these numbers over here. Now here's the answer. 3.1415. 1 times 4, 1 plus 4 is 9. 1 times 5, 1 plus 5 is 11. 1 and 1 is 2. 1 plus 5 is 6. 1 plus 4 is 5. 3.145292. The first 5 numbers in pi show up right over here. Right over here from number 53 and 72. The answer equals here 23. The answer equals here 23. 2 times 3, 2 plus 3 is 5 and 6 and 5 and 6. And you keep repeating these numbers over here. This number will break down. And let me continue it. We see where we went to. I'm going to show you that because of the total of these numbers that gave these numbers, I'm going to end pi right now in my next video. Right in my next video. The minute you get to this one, no, I have to do it in this one. Otherwise, you watch the other one. You won't watch this one. So now in pi, you have 3.14159265. When you get to the 65, the 53, I wish you can just see this a little bit. The 53, okay? The 53 and the 72. This is what they're going to be. Should I bring this into the next video? But nobody's going to watch. No, I got to keep it in this video. 5 times 3 equals 15. 7 times 2 equals 14. Now we have 5 plus 3 equals 8. 7 plus 2 equals 9. This total is 17. This total is 29. Okay, 17 needs 0,3 or 9,3, which is Saturn. It also can use 60 to bring it to the 7,7 world, or 69 in this case, or 63 creation to make 6 and 10, the 7 world, the 10 world, the 13 world. This and this will make the clock. 6 and 1 is 7 to light. 7 and 0 is because 60 plus 10, the passage for the light, the chalice, which is the passage for the light. Okay, over here, 60 and 10 equals 70, and that passage is inside the crown of the king. Okay, why is it inside the crown of the king? First of all, the K card or the R card equals to 29. R equals to 18 and K equals to 11. Roi says 10, or king, I-N-G. When you add the birth to you add the crossing of the N to the gateway, I-N-G. This is the ring. This is the crossing. This is the gateway. This is the birth. 18 and 11, 29. 10 in Roi, because the numbers, the letters to the numbers are O and 1. Okay, this over here says 16 to light. Inside 18 is 16 to light equals 34. 34 is I-H-I-H, high. That's the number 1. Neo Anderson, the same number. Now we're going to go into this. This equals to 23. This equals to 23. Now we're going to go and we're going to calculate 23. 23. 2 times 3 equals 6. 2 plus 3 equals 5. 6 plus 5 equals to 11. But did you see what happened? You want to see it again? 1 times 4, 1 plus 4, 1 times 5, 1 plus 5 equals 6. Equals 1 times 5, 1 plus 5, 6 equals 5 equals 4 equals 5. Okay, inside 4 and 5, 5 and 5 connect. Inside 4 and 5, you skip over 5, you get the 6. East and west, center, center, to east and west. Okay, if you were running these numbers by low shoe, this number over here would be found down by Pluto, and this 5 would be found in Jupiter, and this 4 would be found by Mercury. Okay, so now we have these numbers over here. Over here, we had the answer to this over here, 17. 93 is Saturn the gateway, which becomes 1, 0, 10. That automatically passes. 1 and 7, 7, 10, 10. 6 and 1, 7, 0 and 7, 7. Otherwise, I'll put 9, but I don't need it because I already have the 9 over here. Now we want to get to 13. We have 6 and 7 is 13. 1, 3, and 9 is 13. But I want to use a 4 to get to 13. So I need a 4 for the 6 to get the 10. And then I'll need a 4 for the 9 to get the 13. This becomes the lighting of 4. Lighting of the delta angle, the gateway, the blockage of the gateway. Okay, or the doors of the gateway, or the opening shutters of the light. So now we're going to go to pi, because 3 brings this into 20. 0, 3 becomes 63. At the same time, it's 21U, because U is the only vowel, again, okay, that's in the consonant family. Although there is no other, like if I say U, right, it's number 3, but if I say O, F is in the O family, okay, as a vowel, it's the O. F, because it's number 6, and the O letter is the 15th letter. And X, O and X, XO equals number 39, okay? And this is in the F family, which is FOX. So I mean the O family, so the O, okay, makes X and F in their family. The C, okay, which is U21, the L has a vowel, and that's U. The C has a vowel, and that's U. And the L, U, I think those are the only 3, right? L and then 21. Yeah, these are the only ones, C, L, and U. C and L are in the U family. So that would be 321 for this one over here, 0321. And this one over here, but it would be 50321. And this one over here would be 5321. And the reality of this is because this is 0C, but it's in the E family. So this is the E family. Because it's a 0C, you have to put the 0C because it's under the 10. When it's under the 10, it takes 2 positions. It counts for the 10th position. It's the add-on of creation to J, Jack. Did you follow what that means? So now we're going to go back to pi. Pi begins with the first number of 3.14. You add 3 onto this. Your 3.1 is your AC energy. So your 3 makes 20. Your 20 makes 26, which makes 8. 8 makes the heaven. So now we're going to start again. 3.14159265. 2 times 3, 2 plus 3. The equality of these will equal to 2365. 2365. So now when we have pi that comes to here, 2 times 3, 2 plus 3, 65, we know it's split because it took 2 answers. So one will go on this side and one will go on that side. Okay, so now when we move one onto each side, we now have to continue. 5 times 6, 5 plus 6. This equals to 30 plus 11. 30 plus 6 because of the 0. And this equals to 11. This equals to 41. And then plus 6 equals to 47. Now, what happens next in pi? Okay, I don't know the numbers in pi that are next. So 47, we're going to take it up here because I have no more space to let in the light, to let by the light. The dividing light, we'll let the light divide this way. We'll come up and look this way.
just like a submarine boat. You ever see the swastika like a submarine boat? You're not looking straight up because you can't see. So you look this way to look up this way for a mirror to look that way. In between, here's the dividing light. So now we're going to take this number over here, 47. 47. 47 times what? 47 times 80 equals 3760. 94, which is the double of 47, Uranus. Uranus, Mars, Uranus. Uranus, the number for Uranus. The seventh planet, Uranus. The fourth planet, Mars. The fourth planet, Mars, will include number 4, which comes from Pluto, and Pluto's the ninth planet. This means 4 areas of 20 times 40, because the Monopoly board, which is 1 area, is 40. Do not forget. This is the board. You take this and you play here. They take this and they play here. Together you come together to play this way. He has 2 sides for the 80 and the 40 because it's the Monopoly board. 40 here, 40 here, 40 here, 40 here. And I have a design that's going to show the Monopoly board something, not that, 1 second. I have a big design I'm going to be doing. The Monopoly board, I don't see it right now, but I'm going to do that Monopoly board and chess game, okay? Because I got to take the chess game and put it inside the Monopoly. You see, the Monopoly is 13 by 13, and the chess game is 8 by 8. So I need to put 13 by 13 on the outside of this. I might need a border, okay? The difference is 5 and 5. 7 times 6, 7 plus 6. You're always going to get your reality of what you need. Okay, I'm going to try and explain that to you in a second. You're always going to get, because the numbers will always show up. Don't forget 53, okay, and 72. This one was 17. This one was 29. The total is 46. So the 2 numbers I have to work on is this bottom total over here of 46, okay, and this top total over here of 47. 46 is, like I said, it's these 4 corners. And then here's your 46. The light will come in this way, okay? And will go out this way or this way, east-west. So this part of pi is about 46. Why? Because the first answer to these numbers, which create pi, is this. So now we're going to leave this, we'll do this after. We'll do this one first. The number was 47. 4 by 7 equals 28. 4 plus 7 equals 11, equals 39. 3 times 9 equals to 27 red. 3 plus 9 equals to 12, equals to 39. This number will not stop, and neither does pi. It'll just keep repeating this number here, this number here, this number here. I believe this will be the rotation number. In order to gauge what number is going to come up here, it has to work with the original numbers that brought us into number 2323. Because do not forget that these 23s always have to be recreated into 11s. And I'm going to show you why. The last number over here was 47. Okay, and we took it over here. I did not do number 23 yet. I have 23 to do. I have 47 to do. And I have 46 to do. From 1 times 4, 1 plus 4 from the original, which gave me 4 and 5, 9. Where I got 56 from. Where did I get 56 from? Oh yes, the 1 times 5, 1 plus 5. This one here equals to this answer over here. I have my 11 right here. 2 times 3, 2 plus 3. 2 times 3, 2 plus 3 is the same thing as 1 times 5, 1 plus 5. This one will equal 6. This one will equal 5. This one will equal 5. This one will equal 6. 5, 6, 6, 5. It's the wolf. It's the communication, because wolf, communication, white, 7, it's all the same number. Okay? On the outside of this is 47. 47, 11. On the outside, the 56 on the outside, the brackets to that would be 56. This becomes 30, and this becomes 6 creation. 5 and 6, 11 is 41, is 47. 47, now that we created this, 23 that we started with, comes to the same thing as this, that recreates this, that come back to here. So now we have the end in the front that should end with this number over here. 4 by 7 is 28, and 11 equals 39. 39 keeps rotating. 72 or 27 is what we began with, minus 72, 62, 52, 45. The fox. The hole doesn't stop for your whole life. 45 is the fox. 45 is how pi started, the first two numbers. So now the first two numbers after 3.14 are now repeated from the end number. 3 times 9, the number that will continue on. 3 times 9, 3 plus 9, will always be these two numbers over here. Now, if you crisscross them, you get 4 and 8. And that is the number we worked on before for the space of the inlight, because we have to crisscross. In order to get an answer here, what is 12? 56. 5 and 6, the number over here. 6 and 1 is the light. 5 and 6 is the heart of the light. 7 and 7. 9 and 8. 9 and 8 that we began over here ends over here to 10, 10 for the light to be passing in the dead center. Over here we have 5, 0 for the 50 stars. 5 is the heart of the light, becomes 5, 6. This becomes 5, 6. Why? Because 2, 7, we get 5 for the 7 world, and we get 0 for the 7 world. 5 becomes 6. 5, 6 is the same thing we had over here. 5, 6. So it keeps going around and around pi, and this is my reality of why pi never ends, because we always end up with number 39 at the end. 39, 39, 39, and 39 keeps coming back to 1415. 1415, 39, 39, 1415, 39, 39, and that reality brings in 54, the sun. 5 times 4, 5 plus 4, okay, equals number 29 or 92, which is the birth. Don't forget 45 plus 1 at the end. It's always plus 1 at the end because it's always the light. You're not counting the light. If you count the light, you count half. You end up with a decimal. You count 2, you can end up with a decimal. Anything divided by 2 without being 3 can only have 1 extra decimal. Right? Hexadecimal. This 72 and 53, 125. 5 times 5 times 5. 19, the spirit of artificial intelligence. The number couldn't be any more perfect. Cameras, lights, and action. How can we bring this together? 7, 2 is 9. 9 and 3. 3 and 9. Back to 3 and 9 again. 2 and 2 is 4. 4 and 8. The gateway is 17 to 2 and 2. Venus splits herself. She gives 2 from herself, or 2 from herself. Plane out of Neptune, right? She takes 2. I believe Neptune controls Venus. Okay, Neptune goes into Venus, okay, and takes 2 parts of her and gives it over to Mars, and then 3 parts of that and sends it over to Saturn. So it takes 6 on one time, and then it takes 2 on the other side. So it takes 10. So now we have Venus minus 2. Or because it gave it to the right, the 8, and the 8 plays with the 6. You have to have a tail on one end, a head on the other end. I'm not going to start to explain it right now, but that is the vision of how pi works. And it rotates perfectly. And we didn't finish because after we get to this number, times 80 or 86, which is 2 and 4, I'm not even going to get into how I get there because 23 plus the light is 24. If you count from 1 to 23, there's only 22. If you count from 0 to 23, that's impossible. When you start a game, you're either in home or in Monopoly, you're on go. And that's 1. When you stop on an area, once the game has began, you're still in that area. Although it's area 0, it's still one area. One area that you can never leave and move 1 step and come back. You can never come back home in 1 step. Therefore, the step you were at is 1. The next step you come home, that's 2. How many steps can you take out of your house? Actually, 4. You can't walk out the corners of the walls. Although there are 8 numbers surrounding, you only walk out 4 doors. And if you're walking out 1 door, the 3 doors remain silent. And if you open up 1 door, someone might walk in. The same door you're walking out. And it ain't going to happen at the same time. And that already makes the difference. Let me see if I put a little bit of tape on the floor. Yeah. I'm going down to the floor next. 40 minutes of this stuff, and I'm loving it.
I am loving it. Somebody tell me now, because like I did this in my video yesterday. Again, people think that I'm wasting my time doing what I'm doing, counting these numbers and bringing revelations towards them, or bringing scientific value, or choose whatever you want. Whatever you want. I believe that if something satisfies the mind, regardless of what it is, as long as you're not endangering yourself and not the choice of others. How many can sit down and say, I think you're endangering yourself by talking about numbers too much, you're going to mix yourself up. Now, how is this person supposed to figure out if I'm going to mix myself up? It doesn't matter if the four corners or the four pillars are standing and I have an open space for my ears. I have no pillars here where the doors are. There are no doors because my ears are there. And from behind, there's a wall because I don't want anybody running to the back of my head, and I can't see behind me, but I can sense it. So I'll leave 3 doors open and I can see straight forward. I can hold on to the pillars. I can peek onto the outside and look at both sides and say I have no dilemma of overdoing these videos or counting numbers or painting on my wall, as long as I'm enjoying myself. And my concept of life, I was listening to something on the radio and they were saying, oh my God, they just removed Jack Horner from his house, and because he put his finger in the pie. And that wasn't normal, although it wasn't anybody else's business because it did not dissolve anything between people. We have been structured in such a way, and we show up. I mean, I just want to ask you a question. Wouldn't you rather 100 people, right, or 200 people hold cameras up, and then we can take and look at all these cameras and we can say, hey, did anybody see the blue? And everybody that didn't see the blue moves aside. Now you talk about the blue. But if you bring 2 people to judge one situation, and then they go out for coffee and tea and a couple of drinks after, are they biased towards each other? Are they doing it for their own ego? We work for our own egos. We become doctors and high-class people, and because we have a high-class job, we now have an ego. Because we think we know it all. Now, people will come back at me and say, well, that's not true. I'm only talking about the truth. The reality in that reality. If there's 6 egotistical, high-class, what's it called? Or there's 6 egotistical, low-class, middle-class, or bums, they are the 6. I'm only talking about those 6. If you caught 4 fish and you ate 2, show me the 4 you. If you caught 6 fish and you ate 2, show me the 4 fish. I don't want to see the 2 fish. You ate it. I have to believe your story. You show me, I believe. You don't show me. It's a story. It's your word. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. And again, I saw this, 2959. You sure it is? Sure it's not 65, 67? I saw 59 again today. 41 and 51. Mars sent. Sent from Mars. 41 says sent. 51 says Mars. From one side to the other side. One side to the other side. Transmission. This world, my friends. This world, my friends. What a lovely place to play in the sciences of the mind, where absolutely nothing is true at all in science until it documents on the paper and the blueprint is printed and it says, it works, this is what it is. Other than that, I took a whole bunch of ingredients, I mixed them all together, and nothing worked. What do you call it? A waste. Well, when you put them together after 10 years and hundreds of millions of dollars, look at this. Finally, some jack discovered and made something, we'll call it Jack Ho. But for my science that I put together with my numbers, I don't have a board sitting over there saying, you are the best one this month, we're going to give you a sticker, you'll pin it on the wall. We'll give you this. We'll put it on the wall. We'll put it on the wall. If you don't have something that goes on the wall to start you off, they don't look at you. And as you're starting to climb up, they keep pushing you down saying, you ain't got it, buddy. You ain't got it. How can you have what I don't have? Because then you would have it. If you have it, share it. But then you don't got it either. So how would you know what I have? The reality is, and it's pretty basic, 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 of 1 is 1 of 1 is 2. 1 is a division of everything. And it's half of everything, above and below. 1 piece of paper is now got 2 sides. I've opened it to the center on 5, but I look in through where the light is. So I look at 2, I look into 5, the crack in the book. I look at 4 and 6, I look at each of the pages in the crack of the book. I turn it into a bird, it flies away. C'est l'effet d'autonomie. It's life's paper, the autonomy of man. I'm not happy with the last 4 minutes, but Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. Thank you for watching, and I really would like you to go over that piece on pi, right? Because Tom Thumb, he was everything about 3. Tom, 2, but Tom is 3. You know why? Because it's Tom Turkeys. So it's crazy because 2 doesn't go anywhere. 2 must be with 3. 4 is with 5. 7 is with 6 and 1, but it's not true. 7 is a gateway. That's why there's no arm in the center. It's up there. You want to go, buddy? You got to go up there or down there. 7 or 8. 7 up. But in the 8 card, you already know that there's 3 images up and 5 images down in the 8 card. In the 7 card, there's 5 up and there's 2 down. 7 and 8. Pi. What was I talking about? 7 and 8. I'd have to look at the end of this video, right? I have to look back at the end of this video. I was onto something there for my own mind. I don't know if you perceived where I was getting at. 59. 84. Space. 13, 13. 84. 4 and 5 is 9. 17. 9 and 17. The I birth, which is 69, which is the same as the 39 rotation. 5, 9, 8 and 5, 13. 8 and 9 is 17. It is the gateway. 1 times 8, 1 plus 8. Did I say 17? 17, 1 times 7, 1 plus 7. 8 and 7. 8 times 7 is 56. 8 plus 7 is 15. And back to 3.1415. 8 times 7 is 56. So you bring 56 back into it. You bring 56 back into it. 1 times 5, 1 plus 5. $17, 15, again, pi. 5, if this one gets the 8, then this one will get the 4. So this one will get the 4, and 5 becomes 9. 4, 9, 8 and 5, 13, 13. 4 and 5 is 9. 17 and 9, 9, 17. 91 is the spirit. 17 is the gateway. 7 and 9 is 16 equals the light. 7 by 9 is 63, creation of 6 and 16. And it keeps repeating and repeating. If we do it with this way, it's 21. It's Abba Father. That is exactly pi, and it just keeps rotating. I hope I put it out there. If there's anybody out there that can put that together, what they saw, how pi begins, it finishes its first 4 numbers, and that's all it needs. And all it does is it talks about itself on and on and on. Where the other numbers come in is based on the basic numbers that we began with, which is 29 and 17. And now we have to go. 8 and 14 is 22. 9 and 15 is 24. Grover Cleveland split between the 9 birth and the 8 heaven, the split of Grover Cleveland. 8 and 15 is 23. 8 and 14 is 22. 8 and 9 is 17. 17 and 22 is 39.
and 23, 49, 59, 62. Venus, Saturn. You want to go with the 9? 17 and 23 is 40. The blue world. 40 plus 24 is 64. Zion, Israel. Now we have the full rotation. Now if we want to go to this over here, oh, this is a whole cycle, my friends. This is a whole cycle, and I'm very sorry to take up an hour of your time. I'm very, very sorry that I had to prolong this, but it's got to be right. If I'm going to talk, I have to be correct in the verities of the numbers. 1 times this and 1 plus that must be right. The math must be right. I'm not doing any art, but this designs into multitudes of designs. The reason for that is, you see that tape board over there? Those are all numbers, okay? There are 3, 6, 9, 12. There's 12 by 12 areas of 4 layers. 4 numbers, 12 numbers, 12 numbers, 12 numbers, 12 numbers, 12 numbers, 12 numbers is 6, 12 numbers, 12 numbers, 12 numbers is 9, 12 numbers, 12 numbers, 12 numbers are 12. Why 12? Because if I start at 1 over here, I can't end at the bottom. I have to come all the way around and come back to the top and lock the top. That's why we connect 11:30 and we 10:30, and we connect on the right side 1:30. We connect on the other side 22:30, or we connect onto this side 3 o'clock for the hours, 180 minutes or 90 minutes. 190 minutes, okay, is an hour and a half. 90 minutes this way, an hour and a half. 90 minutes this way, an hour and a half. If we run it by 45 degrees of 8 times is also 90 minutes. That's how I work it out. Raphael 7286 and a constellation of Pegasus. Thank you for watching.